You're watching Sports Final.
Top of the evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Final, the best payoff yet for that 45 minutes you stood in line at the cable company this week to get your new converter box. And in the spirit of quality TV, Joe and I are kind of the local sports version of the show Breaking Bad. Dysfunctional, yet effective at delivering your high school football fix.
But tonight we are your pigskin pushers, be it Keokuk's push for 4 straight, the likely Bowling Green Clopton emo title bout, or Quincy High squaring in all 10 games worth of gridiron goodness and more tonight. But we start with a tale of retribution decades in the making.
In point of fact, Joe, Brian Cranston has an Emmy. We do not. That stinks. Central Southeastern trying to get the job done against Illini West. Hasn't happened in over 4 decades. Oh, the Central fans all amped up tonight. It was an electric atmosphere, and you knew if Camp Point would win tonight, not only would the mothers shake their things, so to speak, but we knew that it would be a town that would come apart. And right off the bat, Illini West tried to put a damper to things. Jack Bostert cuts to the outside, and he is going to go 52 yards into the red zone to set up his own score, 6-0, just like that, in favor of Illini West. Ensuing kickoff, Austin Dormeyer on the old reversal thing, using the old Illini West Carthage kickoff return against them. Dormeyer with a big pickup. This drive kind of cut back and forth with penalties, but thanks to a face mask, Central eventually got into the red zone, and that guy would score the human muscle, Garrett Kessner, from 5 yards out. It's 7-6 as the PAT was good. Illini West turns the ball right back over on a fumble, and it's time for Nathan Knuffman to go to work. He had 105 yards rushing tonight, and he was a bulldozer. In from 11 yards out, and suddenly Central Southeastern has the lead. They haven't had many leads on Carthage or Illini West over the years. 14-7 at that point. Illini West answers instantly back. Right here, Caden Guyman with that outstanding sprinter speed, gets to the outside, cuts back. This play comes back a little bit thanks to an illegal block, but it would set up Alex Appel with Alex Appel Appeal going in right there from 11 yards out, and suddenly it's 14-12, but the 2-point conversion attempted here goes awry on Illini West, and this was really the moment of devolution, if you will, when everything went sour. Nathan Knuffman, he is a full-grown man, and he is not happy with anyone. Throwing people all over the place. The ensuing kickoff, and the next play, how about this guy? Garrett Kessner yet again, 84 yards. Kessner with a monster night of 175 rushing. More on him in just a second. Great carry into the end zone. That, my friends, makes it 21-12 Central Southeastern. Time for the defense. Yeah, there was defense actually played in this game, and it was played by this guy, Jonah Cogshaw, who's just unbelievable. That on second down, he's going to come up on 3rd and 5 and snuff out the entire play call. Great play call, but not when Jonah Cogshaw's are well, and all of a sudden Illini West has to punt the ball back, and that didn't work out so well for them either. This, my friends, is Dalton Hubner taking the carry. Going up, he's going to get called down at the 1-inch line. His dad was standing next to me, not happy with the spot, but fortunately for the Hubner family, Dalton would get the call on the next play, go in from 1 yard out, and just like that, the score is extended to 28-12. No relent from Central Southeastern. Strange play call, 2 minutes left in the first half. 4th and 5 at their own 23-yard line. Tim Lafferty decides here on the punt to call for the fake punt. That was a huge mistake. Tyler Richmiller and company all snuff it out at that point. And you guessed it, more scoring to come. Again, Garrett Kessner, the human muscle, with one of his 5 touchdowns on the night. Central Southeastern is off the schneid in a major, major way. Look at the final score in this one. 49, I should say, to 18. Central Southeastern gets the win, improves to 3-0, and that guy, Brad Dixon, is a happy, happy man. Small solace, but at least the Carthage community gets our grill qualifier for the week. We're trying, people. Marilyn Fox, congratulations. You are qualified for the drawing at the end of the year for the great grill package, and all that goes along with it should be a great, great win for whoever gets that. Speaking of great wins, Quincy High looking for a big one against #1 Rock Island Ulliman at home on homecoming tonight. How about Mike Davis working here off the screen pass from Mr. Zanger? This is a big pickup, 31 yards when the Blue Devils really needed it on their first possession, and that would set up this. Jordan McGriff about to take the ball into the end zone for what would be, unfortunately, the Blue Devils' only score of the night. McGriff gets the push right here. Actually, he's going to get it down to the 1 yard line. Nice to see him back and healthy. That would actually set up Jordan Zanger, who's going to go in from 1 yard out, giving his team an early 7-0 lead. The Blue Devil defense was good for much of the night. Unfortunately, the offense had nothing left in it the rest of the night. D'Angelo Dean with a nice sack right here, the quarterback sack. However, a scoop and score late is the undoing of the Blue Devils. They lose for the second time this season. 17-7 is your final. News much better across town for Quincy Notre Dame taking on Peoria Notre Dame. A very slow-scoring first quarter. Things would come to life, though, for the Raider defense. Jeremy Frieden throwing down with a sack right there. And finally, the offense rumbles alive. Luke Hincamper playing with a broken collarbone, Joe, no less. That's a tough kid.
That's tough.
We've had kids play with spider bites, and now Luke Hincamper playing under duress. Story of the night, though, for the Raiders was this guy. Evan Roush had never thrown a touchdown pass at the varsity level until today, until this one. Garrett Becker right in for the score right there. That's the first. Nick Wyman doing some work as well. He would have a nice run on the night as the Raiders just kind of put things together. Evan Roush with 3 touchdown passes on the night. It was all about the Raiders in this one and their outstanding defense as they take apart Peoria and Notre Dame when it counts most. 34-0 is your final. Scores in Illinois to pass along. Joseph, Jacksonville, no match tonight for Glenwood, losing at home on homecoming 42-24. Macomb in a score just called in, gets the win tonight, improves to 2-2 in the season. Kelly Sears isn't happy unless he's 0-2 to start a season. His team gets the big win and has the big showdown at Central Southeastern next week, and that should be an awful lot of fun. Pittsfield, Griggsville Perry off the schneid. First win of the season for the Saukeys as they beat West Hancock 39-27. Brown County in that forfeit game jumps all over Wright City, wins 37-7 there. Beardstown a winner in shutout fashion over Havana on the road. Elmwood Brimfield just takes it to Rushville Industry, 54-6 your final there. And Peoria Heights, no match for Bushnell Prairie City Avon, who's won 2 straight. Joe, finally your turn.
Big win. You know, I broke my collarbone once. I didn't want to move for 6 months. Get your popcorn ready, though, for Clark County and South Shelby. Both teams coming off some tough losses. South Shelby in blowout fashion. Clark County losing a nail-biter last week to Centralia. Indians first play from scrimmage, though. Seth Williams finds the hole, and he finds daylight, and he is gone. 95 yards down the other way for the score. The Indians go up by a score of 7-0 after the extra point there. The South Shelby offense now needs to do some work, and do some work quickly without starting quarterback Alex Blackford in this one, though. David Heathman under center instead in this one. He hits Wes Mefford. He'll grab the first down, but the offense would be tough to come by. David Hateman, I should say. Next play, Luke Ross of the Indians with a big quarterback sack. And then maybe Mr. Bryson Capelli looking for membership into the Fraternity of Pain. Tune in on Sunday to see if that makes it. Big drop for the loss.
Spicy.
Later on, Seth Williams, after another Indian drive, this 1-yard touchdown run makes it 14-0 at the end of one. Everything going great for Clark County in this one as they win easily over South Shelby. More Clarence Cannon scores for you. Macon still playing like the #1 team in the state. They're too much for Moberly, 26-6. No exact final yet, but we can tell you Centralia is victorious over Mexico. Join us in the Sports Final Live chat for all those scores. Palmyra and Brookfield also. Brookfield too much for the Panthers, 40-3. How about Monroe City facing Louisiana? 2-1 Louisiana, Chris.
Steve Geschwinder doing work this year.
He's ready, but a tough early going of this is Greg Pitzer of Louisiana. A little bit of a problem on the exchange in the early going. This is recovered by Monroe, and now the Panthers have a chance to strike. Steve Geschwinder not too happy about this one at all. Maybe he need to be consoled a little bit
That's
here.
a little dour look on Steve's face at this point.
That's always a tough way to start things out, but Monroe City's Blake Rogers makes things worse for Louisiana as he hits Kyle Van Nostrand for the nice 20-yard touchdown strike. Monroe goes up by a score of 7-0. Later on, Blake Rogers shows off the wheels as well. He's got some skill with his legs. The 15-yard gain is good enough. Monroe City takes down Louisiana by a final count of 24-8. Chris, any more scores?
We do. We've got Knox County beating Fayette 48-13. No score yet from North Shelby Milan. We'll get to that on the live chat in about 10 minutes. Hannibal tonight, the shocker of the night in Cupeyville at Columbia Hickman. Look at the Hannibal Pirates jumping out to the early lead, courtesy in this one of their field goal kicker, Caleb Beanick. Hitting one right through the uprights after a nice early initial drive makes it 3-0, 27-yard field goal for him. Hickman just turning the ball over, not able to do much against a very stout, incredibly good Hannibal defense tonight. That would set up this. We're going to do a little halfback option trickery. That, I believe, is Logan Hicks looking up top to the basketball star Christian Williams. Oh, the big tight end doing some nice work right there. We're not done yet. Christian Williams going to take the dump pass right here and score as well in this game. Actually, I think that was Connor Brown who caught the first pass, I should say. That was Christian Williams with the touchdown right there. Big number 87. And Hannibal wins. That's a nice road win. 10-0 is your final.
First win since 1984, I hear, for them.
Gotta like that. Joseph Vanfar and Winfield, no score yet. We're still working on that one for you. I can tell you that Clopton-Ellsbury and Bowling Green turned out nothing like we expected tonight. You remember last week, Clopton-Ellsbury in that score fest with Unity Payson? There was no scoring in the first half of this game, despite the better efforts of Tom Lathrop. Outstanding back from Bowling Green. At 100 yards rushing in the first quarter and a half. However, didn't get into the end zone. Defense stout from Clopton at time. We didn't say that much last week. The gang tackle. Yeah, apparently they learned something from Kyle Vandermaiden and learned it very well. Again, Lathrop getting some yardage here, but Clopton's defense great all night long, which we didn't say all night. They held Bowling Green to just 7 points. Unfortunately, Clopton-Ellsbury only scored 6 in their own affair. Bowling Green gets a quality win. Lathrop with, I think, over 200 yards tonight. 7-6 was your final there. Southeast Iowa, no scores yet from Fort Madison Fairfield, nor from Central Lee and Sigourney Keota. Joseph?
Sheraton, though, pays a visit to Keokuk as the Chiefs bundled up in Keokuk, breaking out the blankets in this one. Nice way to start the second quarter for the Chiefs, already up 14-0. That's when Derek Rose picks this pass off. Great return as well. And then later on, all you have to do is hand it to this guy. The Chiefs got it done with the aerial attack in the first quarter. Second quarter, you go to Trevor Roth. You're going to get big gains. This one right into your living room for the first down. Later on, more Roth as he works in from 3 yards out for this touchdown plunge. 20-0 Keokuk. The extra point, of course, makes it 21. Sheraton quarterback Christian Bankston on the run right here, brought down by Dalton Jansen. Great wrap by Jansen on the diving effort to record the sack. Not bad at all. Keokuk gets the ball back, and later on Gabe Vandenberg hits Dan Williams. Great catch, a little more yards after the catch. That takes Keokuk into the red zone. Bryce Rose now on the touchdown carry. They have more runners than Mr. Roth. Bryce Rose on the touchdown carry.
I could run behind that offensive line.
Had 3 receiving touchdowns last week. He gets one on the ground this time around. Dimitri Galbraith with the big stop right here. And the Chiefs all over Sheraton in this one tonight. They win by a final score of 48-13 and go 4-0 so far on this season. Some other scores for you from today. Blake Herman scores for Quincy High. It's the only goal they get, but it's the only goal they need, as Quincy High victorious over Helias by a score of 1-0. Quincy Christian Volleyball falls to Heartland 3-2. QU men's soccer victorious on this homecoming weekend over Wisconsin Parkside by a score of 1-0. The number 6 nationally ranked QU Lady Hawks taking on Wisconsin Parkside. On this penalty restart, Megan Wingenbach hits Christine Voigt. Great, beautiful header into the back of the net. That makes it 1-0 Quincy. Later on, only minutes remaining in the first half, Jacqueline Mastriani with the boot. This makes it 2-0 QU. Look at this header again. Unbelievable stuff from her, as Quincy University, again, we said 6th in the nation, began the season unranked. They win by a score of 2-1.